Study session?
No, sir.
No.
Everything.
Okay. So today we will do some more guidelines. Okay. These are the basic guidelines. These are the basic guidelines. You say the punctuation. Okay. The bracket, square bracket, NOS, NEC. So these kind of guidelines, which are basic guidelines. Once our basic guideline will be completed, then we will go through the chapter specific guidelines. Okay. So the another thing is square bracket. Okay. In the tabular list, square brackets are used to enclose synonyms. Okay. Alternatively, wording, abbreviation, or explanatory phrase. So, what is synonyms? So, some physicians say kidney stone.
Okay.
Okay. Some say renal stone. But kidney stone and renal stone both are same. Some say nephrolithiasis. So, nephro is kidney and lithiasis is stone. So, again, it will be kidney stone. So whether in your medical record it's mention kidney stone, renal stone, or nephrolithiasis, meaning will remain same and code will again same. Okay, so that's why they will put this thing in square bracket. Okay, similar example, if I give you the gallbladder stone. Okay, some say gallbladder stone, some say cholelithiasis because chole is gallbladder and lithiasis is again stones. Okay, so cholelithiasis is stone in the gallbladder. Okay. So if you want to check that, just go to J40 in your book, J40.
Yeah, 40, sir.
J40.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are some words mentioned over there. Bronchitis. Yeah.
Not specified as acute or chronic.
Mm-hmm.
See official guidelines, acute respiratory manifestations of COVID-19.
Okay, so I will show you that. Just hold. J40. Then we have J.
Cities and lawyers or cities with.
Okay. So they do not put the square bracket here. So whether physician say bronchitis or he say catarrhal bronchitis or he say tracheobronchitis. So all these are the synonyms. So in every condition, the code will remain same J40.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have and. Okay. So we have two guidelines and with. In ICD NCM and the word and in a code title should be interpreted to mean either and or. This means that the code applies whether both conditions are present together or if only one of them is named. So tuberculosis of bones and joints. So it can be only bones, it can be only joints, or it can be both. Okay.
Yes.
So suppose if physician mention tuberculosis of bone and joints in your medical record. Okay. So there is a combination code. Okay. So you just need to only use one code. Okay. Rather than using multiple code. So sometime you will found a single code for two condition.
Yeah. In this condition.
Like if physician say nausea and vomiting. Okay. Nausea is a one condition and vomiting is another condition. So these are the closely related conditions. Okay. So there is a combination code for nausea with vomiting. Okay. So there is a code for nausea, there is a code for vomiting, and there is a code for nausea with vomiting. Yeah.
Combination.
Or nausea and vomiting. Both are almost same. Okay.
For bones and joints, we use different codes, sir, or same?
No, it's a just example. Just example. Okay. With. The term with and in should be understood as meaning associated with. Okay. So like like I give you the example, nausea with vomiting,
Yes, sir.
or cholelithiasis with cholecystitis. So person have a gallbladder stone and then he also have cholecystitis, inflammation of the gallbladder. So there are stone in the gallbladder, but there is a inflammation of gallbladder is also. So rather than using two codes, we have one single code.
Yeah.
What is cholelithiasis with cholecystitis?
Cholecystitis.
Yeah. So I show you book. Okay. So there is a code for cholelithiasis, but they say C calculus gallbladder. Okay. So where are you able to say there is no code available, but they say C calculus gallbladder. So where I need to see go calculus. Calculus, and we need to search the gallbladder. Here is gallbladder.
Yes, sir.
Now, so this is cholelithiasis. Okay. Now with cholecystitis. So with is there,
Bill.
with is there,
Yes, sir.
and there is a cholecystitis. So we will only use K80.10. We will not use K80.20. Okay, because gallbladder with, okay, so cholelithiasis with cholecystitis. So here is cholelithiasis, and with cholecystitis we need to use K80.10 rather than both the K80.20 and K80.10. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I give you a more example. Okay. Boy. Okay. Ram. Okay. ₹100. With Mohan, ₹200. So if Ram came with Mohan, they have 200 rupees. Or Mohan, ₹100. So Ram is a separate entity, ₹100.
Yes, sir.
And Mohan is separate entity, ₹100. But if Ram with Mohan, then 200. So rather than we need to go enter these two information, we only use with Mohan.
Okay.
Okay. Now cholelithiasis K80.20. So if there is only cholelithiasis, okay.
Okay.
So what is K80.20? So it should look like the calculus, gallbladder, K80.20.
Okay.
But if it's a with cholecystitis, K80.10. So if calculus in the gallbladder with cholecystitis, what we need to use K80.10 rather than using both the K80.20 and K80.10. Because if you found there is a code for cholecystitis also in available book in book also, in book. Okay. Now you are able to understand.
Yes, sir.
Then we have placeholder. So what is placeholder? So suppose if there is a movie release
Okay.
in theater, okay, I will give you the more example. If a movie release in the theater and it's a house full, है ना? And there is no numbering on tickets, okay, and you are seven friends, okay. So how many friends are there? Seven friends, and who are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay.
Okay.
So what happened? Movie has been started, and again it's a house full. So whoever come first,
They'll get
they get the seats, है ना? So five friends reach in cinema. Five friends reached in cinema. Okay. Two on the way. So what you will do? You will wait for them.
no.
Yeah. So you will go there and occupy extra seats. So how you will occupy?
Yeah.
So
With
I will occupy, okay,
space
A, B, C, and D. Then I left two seats blank and G.
right.
है ना?
Yes.
So whenever somebody came, I say my friends are coming and they will sit on these seats.
Yes.
So this is placeholder. What is this?
Placeholder.
Placeholder, and we called it X. And it's not certain whether your friend will reach on time or they will come at the end of the movie. So there is uncertainty.
Yes.
But you have to occupy it for future. If they come, they can sit over there.
Okay.
Similarly, we have codes in ICD book. There are 3 to 7 digit codes.
Yes.
So some codes are 3 digit and some codes are 7 digit. So what happened that in some codes they have reserved the space. Okay. They say, okay, we are leaving the space. If there is any disease happen in the future, any outcome in the future, then instead of X, what will be there? E and F. Okay. Same thing they have done here.
Okay.
Okay. And this placeholder thing majorly implement in injury cases, burn cases, accident cases. So that's why your all injury codes are invalid.
Invalid.
Okay. So now how we can complete the invalid code into the valid code you will learn today.
Okay.
Okay. So now if you will search the injury code, your code will be always valid.
Valid.
So how many digits are fixed? The initial digit and the last digit are fixed. Okay. Only the middle digits are missing. Okay. Now come to the point. Yeah. Come to the point here. The placeholder is used in ICD 10 cm codes when additional characters are required, but no specific digit exists for that position. It preserves that the code structure and ensures that a valid 7 character extension can be added when needed. Okay. A placeholder must be used in position where it is indicated, otherwise the code will be invalid. The X can only be placed after the third character of an ICD code. So the three digits is always standard. Okay. You can only put X after the point, but it's depend that how many spaces are empty. Okay. So I will show you this code S43.50XC. Okay. So I will go into the S43.50. S43.50. No, I have on my screen. Okay. So just see S43.50. So what mentioned seventh?
Seventh.
X seventh. So X is before 7. X 7.
Yeah, yes. Seven.
So that's mean X should be there. Now what happened? How many digits you are able to see? S 43.50?
Yes, sir. Five digits.
5 digits. But I told you that the last digit should be,
Seven digits.
no, last digit we need to know.
No.
है ना? So there is no information, but there is information. So what happen in that case? You always need to search a table before this. Okay. So either you will found the table S43 in front of S43 or before. So first I need to check that S43. So what mentioned before the S43? Just read on your screen.
Mentioned sublection.
This one, this one.
Yeah.
Where is?
Appropriate seventh character is to be added to each code from category S43. A equals to initial
Encounter, D subsequent terms,
subsequent
and S is equal to sequel.
sequel.
Okay. So now what happened that? So we have S 43 5 0. 5 digits.
Yes, sir. Five digits.
And we also know the seventh one. Seventh one will be A, D, or S. So this is information is already we know. है ना? Got it?
Yes, sir. But why should we use ending A, D, or
Okay.
S?
So A for initial encounter. If somebody have the injury and he go to the physician first time,
Okay.
so that is always A. Okay. In this scenario, as 43, it's always change. Sometime you found A, B, D, है ना? The meaning will be changed. So every time you cannot fix that the seventh character will be A, D, or S. It can be changed. It can be K. It can be P. Okay. It's a depend on situations. Okay. Now, so A for initial encounter. If nothing is mentioned, I will always take A,
Yeah.
initial encounter. Okay. And D is for subsequent encounter.
Subsequent.
So if second time a person came, we will consider it as subsequent. Subsequent. So the first day you came, it's an initial visit. Now every day you are coming is a subsequent. Subsequent.
Second time. Second time. How many times?
After the initial, it's a subsequent. Okay. And after 3 years you came, sir, I want to change my job. Then is sequel. So if person get any injury and first time he came to the physician office, it is initial encounter. Second day onwards, subsequent. And after he came 4 5 years, 2 years, 6 months, when the treatment is over, then what's this? Sequel. So by default, we will consider is initial encounter. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So what I am considering it initial encounter. So I have the last digit A. So how many characters I have filled? 6. So these had been filled. Hai. This one is again filled. So what left? 6 character.
Yes, sir.
So what will be? 6 character will be
X.
X. So this is my valid code S43.50XA. Okay, so it will a valid code, not invalid. Okay, so if you go into the icd10data.com and you put S43.50 XA, it will show valid code. The green tick is here.
Yeah.
And if you remove the A or X, it will show red tick. Invalid code. Invalid codes. Okay. So you understand that what is the meaning of this placeholder?
Placeholder.
So the number of digits are missing. They are always X. But you should always aware about the last character. Because where you will found the last character? The beginning of the first three letter. Okay. So in S43.50, we always get the fifth character where from where the S43 started. Okay. So normally this used the placeholder you used in whether the code is start with the S or T, and it's not necessary that you need to always use S and T. Okay. Then we have includes. Okay. Includes means you go to the restaurant and you ask for the okay, I need um, dal makhni and two breads. Okay. So what they will give you? They will give you onion. They will give you lemon. They will give you the water, not the Bisleri water, not the bottled water.
Yes.
But they will not charge because these are already included the item you ordered. Okay. So what happened that there are multiple disease mentioned by the physician, but some disease already mentioned in the other disease. So if the person say the physician say HIV, and he also mentioned patient also have the AIDS. So the HIV is AIDS is already included in HIV. So we will only use code of HIV rather than the AIDS. Okay. Similarly, uh, this is kidney stone, not kidney stone. It should be HIV. Okay. Final coding will be HIV.
B20.
B20. So if we search the code for the B20, then it's state for HIV. So what is include?
C is the separate.
So no. What is include? If physician mentioned two diagnoses,
Yes.
if one diagnosis is included into the other diagnosis, then we will say it's a include. So we will only use one code rather than the two code. The similar thing be happen you will found in exclude one.
Exclude one.
Yeah. Exclude one is also similar. So if physician mentioned two diagnoses,
Okay.
and if you search both the diagnosis code and you check in tabular index, so what it say? Like in this example, patient has HIV and asymptomatic HIV, Z21. So if you go into the V20, if you go into the B20, so what it say? Exclude one, asymptomatic HIV, Z21. So exclude one means you cannot use that code. So you can only use what? V20. Even though the physician mentioned both the condition, HIV and asymptomatic HIV. But because asymptomatic HIV is exclude one condition, so you cannot use both the code. So in that case, again, you will only use V20 code. Okay.
For HIV, it is other code, Z21.
That 21 is just your test is positive.
Okay.
Okay, it's not disease. Your just test is positive and there is no sign and symptoms. Okay, you are well, perfect. Any query till now?
No, sir.
Then we have exclude two. In exclude one, we can only code one condition. What happen in exclude two? If physician mentioned two disease, okay, and when we search code for both, and the second condition showing in exclude two, in that case, you can use both the code. Exclude two, we can use both the code, but in exclude one, we can use only one code. Similarly, in includes, we can use only one code. Okay. Included condition cannot be coded. Exclude one condition cannot be coded. But if physician mentioned two condition and one condition is in exclude two, so we can use both the condition.
Okay, I have one more doubt in exclude one, sir.
Hmm.
HIV with AIDS with HIV includes na, it is showing. Why should we choose only AIDS code? We can write HIV code also, no?
Yeah, we only use the HIV code.
In two symptoms, sir. Into that means here it is showing two, na, sir?
Yeah, it's a in exclude two.
Yes, sir.
In exclude two, we can if physician mention both the condition, you can use code for both the condition. But in exclude one, you can use only one condition.
Both of two.
Huh.
Both of two. First one or second one?
Which one?
Exclude one.
Exclude one. The condition which is mentioned in front of exclude one cannot be coded.
Oh.
I show you na this one. So this condition cannot be coded. Z21.
Yeah.
This condition can be coded. If it's reverse, Z21 one will be there and B20 in exclude one, then you cannot code B20.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever condition mentioned in front of exclude one, that cannot be coded. Yeah. But in exclude two, if you say that C10, okay, I will show you the C10. So here it's mentioned exclude two, malignant neoplasm of tonsils. So if physician mentioned oropharynx cancer and also mention this C10, C10 and this malignant neoplasm tonsil C09. We can code both. Okay. Hmm. Any query you have?
No, sir.
So if physician mention cancer of oropharynx and cancer of tonsils. So even though the cancer of tonsils in exclude two condition, but we can code both.
Yes. You too.
Yeah. Use additional code. Hmm.
In which condition we should?
I will tell you now. So if physician and any mention any disease, okay, and when you search the code and below that code description, they use additional code for this. Okay, so you need to check that whether condition exists or not, because if your book is guiding you, but the condition is not in your medical record, you cannot quote. Okay. Additional means I am hungry. I have taken like a burger. Okay. But I am also thirsty. You know? So I take Coke also. So that is additional. Okay. But I am hungry. So the burger is sufficient to feel full. Okay. but I want to some luxury also, so I take cold drink also. Okay, so cold drink is additional. So if patient have one disease and he also have some another disease, and that disease is showing into like huge additional code, so you need to provide the additional code. Okay. The example is Parkinson disease with dementia. Parkinson disease with dementia. So whenever you search the Parkinson disease code, okay, so you will not found the combination code Parkinson disease with dementia. So what you need to do?
Parkinson dementia.
Parkinson disease is one code, and you need to use additional code for
Dementia.
dementia. So which is your primary code?
Parkinson.
Parkinson disease, and that is always additional.
Yes.
So if you need to sequence them, so number one, which code you need to use? Parkinson. Number two,
Dementia.
dementia. So sometime in your exam, sequencing is also came. They say Parkinson disease with dementia. Option A, G20 F02.80. Option 2, F02.80 and G20. So option A is correct. Okay. So if it's mentioned, okay, like this, G20 and F20.80. It's correct sequence. F20.80 and G20. It's a wrong. It's correct. Because additional code you cannot use as the principal diagnosis.
Yes.
Okay.
Initially, we don't use additional codes.
Yeah.
We have to use the primary disease and then with
because you take cold drink with burger,
yeah,
not burger with cold drink.
we take burger with
Yeah,
cold drink
with burger. Yeah. So my primary is that I am hungry, so I take burger, and that is additional which I taken. Okay. Coke. Yeah. So let me show you. We will not need to go in G20. Okay, so G20 is Parkinson disease, and they say use additional code if applicable.
Yes, sir.
It's not compulsory. You need to use these code. If only applicable means if it mentioned in your medical record, then you are supposed to use these code. If it's not mentioned in medical record, you cannot use this. Okay. So now you are aware about that. Use additional. Okay. Code first. Code first. Yeah. So if you search any code and under that it's mentioned code first that condition. So you need to code first that condition only. So I will show you that. So we see that Parkinson with dementia F02.80. So now go to F02.80. FC F02. F20.80. F02 or F20? F02. Okay. So I have mentioned wrong. F02. I need to go F02.80. So F02,
Dimension.
है ना? And what it's mentioned? So it's to say that you cannot use F02 as principal diagnosis. You need to any of them as principal diagnosis. So earlier we checked the example of Parkinson.
Yes, sir.
G20. Now this example is for Alzheimer. So if patient have Alzheimer with dementia, Alzheimer with dementia, so the Alzheimer code will be the principal and use additional code dementia will be the secondary diagnosis. So the final coding will be this.
The two of them. The
But if you take the F02.80 as the principal and G30.9 as the secondary, then it's go. Will be incorrect.
Invalid.
So that's why I told you every time you search the code, you always need to confirm it into the tabular index, because in tabular index only you know that it can be use additional code or it's in the exclude one category or it's an invalid code or it's a code first condition rule apply. So all the situation we will only you will identify into the tabular index. Okay. Any query till now?
No, sir. Great.
You want take rest for 10-15 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. So small videos I will make. Okay. Take 10 minutes rest, break.